Hi, my name is Robert Bennett, and I'm the founder of Silence the Violence and Shun the Guns. We're a 12-year-old anti-youth gangs and gun violence organization based in the Toronto Financial District. And what our objective is to create economic stimulus solutions for at-risk youth before they get involved in gangs. Today is a good day for Silence the Violence and Shun the Guns. We're about to make history. No other anti-youth gangs and gun violence organization or advocate has ever achieved what we're about to announce right now. We are launching a lawn care and car washing service exclusively for at-risk youth. They'll be preoccupied, they'll be paid anywhere from $20 to $25 an hour, and they also will be taught how to close the wealth gap, essentially solving their wealth gap problem. Hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, we have spent significant amounts of time discussing, advocating in the Toronto Financial District and Yorkville from back in 2011. And now their intuitions are going to be confirmed. So we're in the process of accepting bookings at this point. And when that happens, we will have a launch right here in the Rosedale Park and in the surrounding areas where we're going to be soliciting those bookings. And as a result, we will make a significant change when it relates to reducing youth gangs and gun violence. Now, I'd like to mention a few things that are very important here. When we first started with Silence the Violence and Shun the Guns, it was just myself. But I decided not to go with a charity or a nonprofit because the media has reported many times over the years that the black community is the most underfunded and underserved of all races. And being aware of that, I realized that probably wasn't going to be a pathway to achieving our objectives. Now, what we found was that social enterprise, like Girl Guides who sell their cookies, we found that that was a very effective way. So what we did is we went ahead and created a product line, which now we have over 100 items and some financial services as well. You can visit that on our website. This year, we plan to ensure that our lawn care and car washing service continues its upward trajectory. Once that happens, we are going to introduce some other wealth gap closing employment opportunities, all in the objective to ensure that we're able to capture as many of these at-risk youth as possible. So if they're looking to work, we're going to provide them employment. We know that also that we can't aid our way out of this situation. There is no statistical data that supports that. We need to trade ourselves out of our situation. What we also know is that unfortunately, some of the media portrays black people in a negative way, but they don't show the positives in order to balance things out. I know many people that are decent individuals, who go to work, good fathers, good families, but we don't really hear about those sort of things. That is a concern. So for me, when it comes to the media, I've done no personal in-studio interviews, and that's by design. Unless some of those things change, unfortunately, I will not be doing any form of interviews with the media. And there will be terms and conditions that will be attached to it, even if I do decide to do so. We also know that there are individuals that feel that what I call white supremacy solutions are the way to resolve these issues. Those solutions have been introduced for a very long time. And what has it resulted in? Right now we have carjackings and we also have home invasions, in addition to the rising gun violence problems around in our GTA. So we know those things don't work. As for policing, we do need it, but we don't need an overabundance of policing. Because when we have an overabundance of policing, they do not create any employment opportunities. And as a result, because they don't create any employment opportunities, then that is not going to resolve our issue. As for the legal and law-abiding gun owner community, they are our allies. They're the most reasonable individuals that we've ever encountered. They have been buying our items for a very long time. Implementing a gun ban is going to have absolutely no impact, especially since it has no economic solution to the disparity when it comes to people who are at-risk youth. So, if you think a gun ban is going to have an impact to reducing gun violence, you may be very disappointed. As far as we're concerned, it's going to have zero impact. We have to focus on the economic disparity. These individuals who are engaging in criminal activity, their motivations behind their actions is from trying to close a wealth gap. They engage in criminal activity, they're armed, their nemesis is seen, and there's a shootout. And as a result, then we start to see these gun violence incidents continue to proliferate through our community. So we have to focus on the economics first, and all the other things that they talk about, the policing and mental health and all the other things that they talk about can come in after. We have to get our priorities in order if we're ever going to get ourselves out of this situation. And to prove that that's a fact, where are these people coming from? Are they coming from Rosedale, which is where we are right now, or from Bridle Path? No, they're coming from all the impoverished communities. There's a common denominator when it relates to the people who are engaging in these types of activities. Jane and Finch, Regent Park, Lawrence Heights, Malvern, Pockets, and Scarborough. These are where these things are happening. So we have to take that in consideration when we're looking at solutions. And that's why I believe with the guiding principles of economic science, which is what we introduced back in 2011, and why people have been buying our items for over 11 years, understands. And now, at this point in history, this very moment, that is going to be our focus, is the employment for these at-risk youth. So, if you haven't joined us at this point, that's fine. But perhaps now that you're seeing that the employment opportunities are being rolled out, maybe this is a time that you may want to take action. If you're in the Rosedale area, we're encouraging you to book with us either lawn care or car washing services. If you're a legal and law-abiding gun owner, we're encouraging you to join with us because we have solutions to help you as well too. If you're a stakeholder where you're concerned about reducing youth gains in gun violence, reach out to us. We're willing to work with you. We're asking you to join us. As long as you understand that we're using a social enterprise solution, not aid, but trade. Now in closing, I would like to share with you some quick facts. Developed, launched in 2010, and executing by using the guiding principles of economic science. Over 10 years of ongoing buyers of our items who are mainly located in the Toronto Financial District, Yorkville, upscale areas, and recently beyond. Our social media presence is stronger than all anti-youth gains and gun violence organizations and advocates worldwide. We're an employer for exclusively at-risk youth. Charities and nonprofits does not create wealth gap closing employment opportunities or even employment opportunities. So consider those things. We have to make a decision. We can allow gang members to employ these at-risk youth, or we can employ these at-risk youth.